Roy Hodgson has publicly spoke about needing more players. We're going to be delving into his comments and looking at one particular thing that he said, which is quite interesting. It's more than just needing players. Has Roy actually hinted one of our star players is leaving already? And who could that be? And also Michael Olise, an update on him regarding Manchester City's interest and more. Let's get started with Palace news. What is going on, people? Welcome to Live Palace News. As always, thank you to every single one of you that's joined us on this Tuesday evening. There's a bit to talk about today. As you guys can see from the title, Roy Hodgson has hinted that he wants more signings, and he spoke about it in a bit more detail, and also hinted that one of our players has left. So we'll be discussing that about who could that be, and also Michael Olise. There's lots of talks around him lately. There's an update from the Athletic regarding the City interest and whether they'll be willing to pay that. But as always, if you do enjoy the content, make sure to hit the like button. Let's get over 100 likes once again, and subscribe if you're new here to not miss out on future Palace content. How is everyone doing before we get started? Let's see some of the comments. It's like a warm-up for me. We don't need Mbappe. We got França, the next Ballon d'Or winner. That's the optimism that we like to see. Ron is saying if the board are serious about top 10, left back, left winger, right winger, and striker. Look, we're gonna, of course, I spoke about position yesterday because there wasn't much to talk about what we need to do after França. But of course, based on Roy's comments, we have to discuss that again. But we won't go into too much detail. We won't do the same thing as yesterday in terms of talking about individual positions. But yeah, the title shouldn't be shocking to anyone. If we were manager, we would want more signings as well. 100%. We would want more signings, but if you're a manager and you feel like there's enough players, you also wouldn't want more signings. So it's interesting that Roy's come out publicly with his comments. So far we've had John Texter call out Parish and Dougie. Roy hasn't slated them, but Roy has still called out Parish and Dougie in terms of business that needs to be done. And I'm joined by a very special guest here, POC Patrick O'Connor. As always, if you guys want to see matchday vlog, we've got that posted as well before we do get started, where Patrick traveled to Chicago. I know it's better late than never, right? We managed to post that, so a little mini vlog from the game. So if you can go there and smash the like button and let us know your thoughts on the vlog as well, that'd be much appreciated. Patrick, how you doing, man? I wasn't expecting you. I was letting everyone rest. That's why I didn't even ask you. I didn't ask T. I didn't ask AJ today. Because I want you guys to rest. Let me just take this last day before I go on holiday. Let me do all the work. That's why you jumped on. You jumped on yourself. I didn't call you. I wanted you to rest today.
I'm not moaning.
Okay. I wanted you to rest today because I might need you tomorrow when I'm on holiday, when I'm in the sun, when I'm not talking about Palace. I might need you tomorrow, but look, that's fine. I could have you today or tomorrow potentially. But yeah, look, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about Roy's comments, and let's start off with that. Roy said the following, people. After the game against Sevilla, after the defeat, it was a positive performance, but I think he was asked about transfers, and this is where it gets a bit interesting. He said that we've lost 5 senior players from last season and brought in 1. And that's what I'm talking about when I say 5 senior players have left. 5 has left? No.
Yeah, I think you're talking about injuries, maybe injured. Like, it can't be talking about 5 players. Like, I actually counted and I couldn't count 5.
No, but I'm going to tell you, this is where the twist comes.
Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you the twist, but I'm going to finish it. I'm going to finish off the quote, then we'll talk about it in a bit more depth. I brought 1 in, Jefferson Lerma. He's good, and we're happy to have him in. But there's still that hole of 5 senior players in the squad, 2 of whom were 2 of the real stars of the team. There's a bit of work for the chairman, Steve Parish, and sporting director, Dougie Friedman, to do between now and the end of August. Interesting 2 things that Roy has publicly spoke about this, the need for more players. And I'm happy that he's done that because I've said this before. At times, I feel like we take the liberties whenever Roy joins the club. It's like we get into a comfort zone. When Vieira first joined, you saw it. Transfer were coming left, right, centre. It was all happening. When it's Roy, it's like he's a safe pair of hands. Let's just act a bit slow. So it's interesting that he's actually publicly spoke about this. But Patrick, I don't think Roy is counting injuries. I think he's hinted one big thing. Vicente Guaita. I think he's off.
But Guaita was actually, I saw on Instagram, he posted of him training at the training ground. So he might be
but he's saying we lost 5 senior players. And there's another transfer link linking us to a goalkeeper.
So give me those 5 then. Give me the 5.
So that's what I'm saying. There's a 4, and I think Vicente could be the last one. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting out of this. I think that's what he indicated. Look, Vicente has been rumored to leave the club, and he hasn't really been involved as much this preseason. He didn't even travel to America as well.
Right.
And there's reports that he doesn't want to be second option. I don't know how true that is, but it seems like he wants to move away. And I think Roy has kind of dropped it there in terms of lost 5 senior players because whilst he was on tour, Vicente wasn't there, and Vicente is a senior player, is he not? Do you think
No,
that
I
could be
agree
the
with
case?
you. I'm asking seriously, name the 5 because I can only name 3.
So
You can say
Zaha, MacArthur, Luca,
Butland, right? Butland.
and then if I include, there's one more player that I can't remember right now. I've been packing all day.
But
Zaha,
I'm telling you,
MacArthur, Luca.
right?
Who else
There
is left?
isn't. There is. That's something.
There is.
Honestly,
Surely there's one more.
I looked through the roster from last year. I looked through the whole team. I couldn't find another 5th. I couldn't find 5 players. He's got to be talking about Olise being injured and Hughes and Mitchell. It's got to be those. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. Honestly, I
I don't know.
can't
I was
figure out who
thinking
it
he's
is.
more talking about Vicente. I thought he just
Okay.
dropped a little hint on
Alright.
Vicente. I'm pretty sure there's 5. Look, the chat will bring it up. Let's see.
Yeah, if the chat knows the 5, please, because I only had
Lukonga. That's the one. Lukonga and
Lukonga, who we never played.
Yeah,
that's very funny. Okay, all
okay.
right. I mean,
Hold up. This could be it. Butland, MacArthur, Luca, Zaha.
That's 4. You said
But
5.
Butland, I wouldn't count Butland to be fair because Butland
wasn't here all season.
I think it
Butland
could be
wasn't even-
Lukonga though, maybe. But Lukonga's not senior. So who is senior? Is Olise senior? He said 5 senior players. That's what I'm saying. I think it's into Vicente. Look, okay. If you take Vicente out of it, you name me, other than MacArthur, Luca, and Zaha, who's the 2 other? Then you can maybe put 1 in there, but I think it's. I'll be surprised if Vicente stays. I'll be honest.
No, because like I said, I think he was talking about the injuries, like for instance Hughes, Olise, and even Tyreek injured. So I couldn't figure out what he's talking about. I like the number, but I couldn't figure out how he get the number because I don't know where he gets 5 from. You're right. If you had Lukonga to that, there's 5, but Butland didn't play for him. Neither did Lukonga.
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
So,
we'll see what happens with the 5
either way.
Maybe there's a bit more clarity before the Lyon game. Someone must ask that because he might be injuries.
Right.
And maybe he didn't let something slip. But I think it's interesting because there's a rumor about a goalkeeper potentially coming in, and it seemed like we got a bid rejected that we're going to be talking about as well, which is why I had the 2 and 2 together, and I thought maybe he just hinted that Vicente is gone before it's already happened. But look, long story short, Patrick, Roy wants players.
Right.
Texter wants players.
Right.
What do you make of this approach from Roy to come out publicly and talk about the need for players? He's right though, isn't he?
He's spot on, and I'm glad he did it. No, just to be clear, I watched the interview too. It was done in the underground at Detroit. I saw the interview, so I know. But again, he's absolutely right, and you're right. He was not backed when he was here last time. He hasn't been back so far. He's come back. You talk about getting top 10. No, he's right to call out the board, to call out whomever he wants to call out, because at this point we need players. So getting França and Lerma is a great start, but it can't be the end. It has to be the beginning. So whoever
França doesn't even count yet because he didn't include him because França ain't signed yet. That's the thing.
Exactly, right.
So
just Lerma, right, exactly, which is not good enough. So from his standpoint, he's right to do it. But I'm pretty sure at some point when he's here last time, he said similar and nothing was done. You know what I mean? Taking for granted. You're right. I'm pretty sure he said similar. And it's not something new for a Palace manager to call out the board for lack of signings and it not get done. So I hope this time they listen to him. But I mean, like you just say, he's a safe pair of hands. He trusts him. He doesn't cause any fuss. I mean, I know for a fact Roy said something last time he was here. I know he said something like towards the end of his last tenure.
I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure he said something publicly, but I don't know. I can't remember exactly what it was. But I mean, there is a need for players. We have lost 5 players. He's right, and one of them is very important, Zaha. Where França will see how Roy sees him, but yeah, I mean, we need a Wilf replacement. Maybe that could be it. But yeah, like, losing 5 and bringing only 1 in, you've seen the squad depth. He even said that was like our strongest 11. But when you look at the depth, it's not really there, is it? I mean, he played everyone for 90 minutes.
Again, we spoke about it on the last stream, a couple of streams. Central defense is fine, and we got depth there. Midfield is fine, we got depth there, but there's no depth out wide, and there's no depth at fullbacks, and that's going to kill us. There's no depth out wide at all. There's no depth at at fullbacks, and we could go over the striker thing again. Why bother doing that? We all know about the striker issue. So we're okay at the middle, but it's weak on the outside. And that's a problem. That's a major problem for me, and for him.
Yeah. Look, I think I think Steve Parish will get the job done in the end. I think they will try to bring in players, but it's a case of using them for preseason. I mean, preseason matters when it comes to Roy. I really do think that. And hopefully I'm proven wrong, but hopefully France plays a bit more games. But the earlier the business, the better it is. I mean, I think it'll come down to deadline day, for example, for certain positions. It could even be striker that comes down to deadline day. A loan move for a player that isn't playing as much or is out of the manager's, rota. That could be something like that. But for other positions, there's only so many loans you can do. The other position, it's going to be permanent signing. So it would make sense to bring them in a bit earlier, rather than deadline day, if we're going to sign players on permanent deal.
You make a lot of sense, and I've listened to Dougie talk about it, and definitely Parrish even came back at us a few years ago and talked about how at deadline time you can get players because you're right, they're out of favor with the team, but we need to get that left winger.
We're waiting on down bad. We're waiting on leftovers. That's what we're waiting on, leftovers right now.
We can't wait for. I think we need 3 players, right? We said this already. I think we need a left back option because we're not going to get right back to fine. Left back, left wing, and a striker. You can't wait for all 3. If you get the midfielder in, if it's Hudson Odoi, get him in now, get him in early, whoever it is, or a Nonto or Somerville, and then if it's a striker and left back loan, I'm okay with that. But not all 3. You can't wait till the deadline for all 3 because at the end last 3, you end up getting Mateta. You know what I mean? And I don't have a problem with Mateta. That's what you end up getting. You know what I'm saying? So that's not, or you end up getting who's the Fenerbahce striker again? Chelsea. Batshuayi. He wasn't terrible the first time. It was great the first time. Second time it was awful. You know what I mean? So that's what happens. So you can't shop late. You got to get these things done. And as a Palace fan and we know we're gonna wait to the last minute and then might get Lokonga. Lokonga was okay in the beginning, but they didn't even play on the way.
No, we're not getting Lokonga. There's no way.
No. I'm saying a Lokonga like that's what happened. We got him in deadline day, didn't we?
It's not. Yeah. We got him for the sake of getting him rather than getting a quality player. Do you get it?
You got Hamada, but I mean, it can be good, but it's just risky.
Yeah, there's pros and cons. But look, the bigger picture is, I mean, we can debate about whether we need whether we should sign him now or towards the end of the window. Roy has come out publicly and spoken about the need as well. He spoke about the need that we lost senior players, but that there's a hole of 5 senior players in the squad, and he said 2 of them whom were 2 of the real stars of the team. So he's talking about a hole of 5, and 2 of them were stars. So I mean, he's probably expecting a bit of quality and also a bit of just general squad depth as well, which is, I mean, 5 signings. I think that would be a shock to everyone. I don't think we're expecting that much from here onwards. As I said, realistically, if we sign another left winger, well, it depends. I guess Lerma counts as 1. França will be another 1. That'll be 2. And then if we sign another left winger, that'll be 3, and striker will be 4. Still like 5. Lewis Hall, maybe, I don't know, 5. Maybe it can be sorted like that. But yeah, I do agree to an extent that we probably do need 5 players. But whether we'll get is another thing. That's the biggest picture about it. Roger saying it's getting late in the window too. That's when clubs and agents start taking the piss with fees, etc. We don't have the time. We don't have the money to be taking the piss out of. Ahmed saying we need to get players we want rather than what's left in the bargain bucket that no one else wants. Exactly. It's all about quality. As I said, we need a quality striker. We need a quality winger. There's no point in getting a winger and a striker that's not going to add to the squad. I mean, you might as well use one of the youngsters if that's the case. You might as well, go out there and bring in a player that you actually thinks adds value to the squad. And hopefully we do that. We'll see. As I said yesterday, after the France deal, it's going to be interesting to see who our next target is, who we're going to go after. Seriously. Jason saying, agree, Patrick, on positions of need to prioritize attacking player positions though. Yeah, left wing and striker for me. For you? In terms of attack?
Say that again now. What was the question?
In terms of you, who do you think you need in attack?
Positions or actual player names?
Positions.
No, the left wing and the striker. That's it. Because França can play across the middle 3, so we don't need he's fine. And again, I'm very happy with Olise comes back and Bowie or Raksaki as a backup. You don't need anybody on the right side. It's definitely left side only. Its left side is a definite issue.
Yeah. Well, look, if you're watching on replay, let us know what you guys think about Roy's comments and how many signings that we need. Do you agree with him? What do you make of him coming out publicly? Do you think it's a call for for urgency? Is that why he's come out publicly? Why has he done that? It's interesting in the first place. But look, let's move on to the second bit of news today, and that was on Michael Olise, and that's been on lots of people's agendas ever since that report about him having a release clause for 35 million, and all of a sudden not having a release clause. There's been a sense of worry between Palace fans, and rightly so. Because it seemed like there's reports left, right, centre that contradict each other. But according to Athletic, Man City, one of those teams that are interested, are unwilling to pay any more than £50 million for Olise in a fee that is unlikely to be accepted by Palace following their loss of Zaha and competition from Chelsea. So, according to Athletic, City are not willing to pay more than £50 million. So, what we can do as Palace fans, we can clap and say, whew. At least ain't going to Man City, because anything less than £50 million is not gonna cut it, especially after losing Zaha. So that's good, because I thought realistically City will be the one after Olise, after Mahrez leaving. So if they're not willing to pay more than £50 million, and I don't really see the club selling it for £50 million, Patrick. So surely Olise ends up staying, other than you expect Chelsea to spend that kind of money on Olise.
Now, Chelsea don't need wide players; they've got plenty of them. So Man City was my biggest worry, and a team I thought he would definitely push for a move for obvious reasons, treble winners, playing under Pep, developing, being a Champions League, etc. I was shocked. I saw that story. I was shocked at that story. I couldn't believe they wouldn't go. But one thing about City is that's how they are. They have a number for a player, and if it does not, they move on.
Yeah.
They don't play around. Yeah,
there's this theory about it, Patrick, about Cities. Like they just spend money left, right, centre on players. They don't spend crazy amount of money. Like of course they spend money, but it's not like they'll pay over the top. They don't spend like Saudi type of money and paying crazy. It's like if it fits their valuation for the player, then they'll get him. I mean, even Haaland, they didn't spend like £200 million. They just managed to fit what they want, and they got him. It was a very good deal.
Yeah, no, that's how they are. So I love that report, and the Athletic I trust. It wasn't Alan Nixon, so that was good.
Hold on. Take that back. We're not getting onto Alan Nixon, because what happened with Alan Nixon? What story was it? Was it? It was an actual signing. I mean, he signed today. Chris Francis.
Oh, Francis. Yeah. Francis.
Yeah, Chris Francis. Yeah.
By the way, when are we doing the video for Francis? We didn't talk about that. We're gonna do a Chris Francis like a video.
I'm not gonna even answer that. He signed for even Crystal Palace Academy tweeted it. It was not even Palace. It was Crystal Palace Academy that tweeted his announcement.
Which is what I told you. The Academy signing.
Yeah, so yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so that's solved as well. Chris Francis is at Palace, people.
Played today against Bromley. 3-0 win. 3-0. They won 3-0.
Well, that's what you get with Chris Francis' defense.
Clean
sheet. Exactly.
all day. Exactly.
Exactly. Improvements there already. But yeah, what was we saying? We was talking about Olise. Yeah. So Man City, of course, is one of those teams that I was worried about. And you said it though, Patrick. You said that you're still worried about. We spoke about it off air. I know yesterday you spoke about Olise being worried about him leaving. Are you guys worried now?
Not now. Not after that report. But this is again when something happens that's new. I change my opinion because it makes sense. I was definitely worried about him leaving because I just didn't understand why he would stay if City came in for him. I mean, no player would stay in our squad that City came in for them. But no, if that's a true story, and I hope it is, listen. The only thing I would have said is I will say that in the past, Parish has not sold players. I mean, Wan-Bissaka was an outlier. No, I know that, but I'm saying he's gonna have to if he brings players in. He's not. But you cannot let Wilf leave and then sell Olise. You think it was bad a week and a half ago when Wilf left or whatever it was? You think how bad it'd be if you sell Olise and don't have it? No, that wasn't. He's not. He's a PR merchant. He's not stupid. He's listen. I watched that video again today. He's not stupid. A businessman. He's not dumb. And that would be
what
dumb
video are you talking about?
The one about him. He did an interview with
Humphreys.
Humphreys, right? Jake Humphreys, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't about Palace, but it was about how he runs a business and how he thinks. He talked about Vieira a little bit, but my point is he doesn't do things. He's a fan. I mean, a guy, he's a fan. He's not stupid. He's not going to sell Olise and not have a major
I told you
plan
this,
to bring other players.
I told you yesterday, but you still convinced that Olise will probably go Man City.
Yeah, because Fabrizio Romano was saying it, not Alan Nixon.
But it still doesn't matter. Look, if Man City want a player, he's still under contract at Palace. It's not guaranteed that he goes. So I've said it all along. I don't see us selling Olise. And I think it'll be something crazy, like 70 million plus, if we were to sell him, because we saw, and no one's going to pay that. So I just don't see Olise leaving regardless. So this report doesn't surprise me, but I was not as worried anyways in the first place.
Right. And that's great.
After the release clause thing died down, because if there was that release clause of £5 million, that's a different story.
Just to be clear to all our viewers, D was right, I was wrong in this case. But D also said Wilf was going to stay, and I said Wilf was going to leave. So it's 1-1. Just to be clear. If you're keeping score, I was right on Wilf, you were right on Olise. So congratulations, it's 1-1. Extra time.
It's not about right or wrong, but I'm just saying.
Well, you're making a point that you're making a point that I said something off air, not even on the show, that I said off air he was leaving. You put up to everybody watching, which is fine. And I'm just going to be clear, I was wrong off air, and you were wrong about Wilf. So it's 1 to D and 1 to Patrick. So we're going to penalty kicks.
All right, cool. You know what? Next season we'll do predictions. And we'll see how many rights or wrongs we get.
I told you I don't like predictions. I told you I don't do predictions.
Well, you do predictions when it comes to transfers. If you're doing a few,
it was off air, and you bought. Yeah. All right. It was off air though. As a private conversation between me and you, I can't trust you now. I know that. I can't trust you.
No, you can't trust me because you thought that Olise was going to leave, and I brought it up here while I was talking about Olise. I think it was a good question to ask because you said that he's
100%.
I know. I was just curious about how you're feeling now. Like, are you a bit more confident that Man City are not willing to pay?
That was the only side I was worried about. Chelsea, I'm not worried about Chelsea because they've got plenty of wingers, and to him, he was already at Chelsea. By the way, he's been at Chelsea, so his brother's at Chelsea. You know what I mean? So. I mean, he could still go there, but I wouldn't see that happening going back there.
Or we can bring his brother over, just like we've done with Eze.
Like Eze. You know what?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
We should just have a family reunion, yeah. You know what? Let's bring Vicente. Dougie should hire. Exactly, yeah. Let's just bring everyone's families over to Palace.
That's actually a brilliant idea. His brother's actually very, very good. His brother's excellent, by the way. So that's a great idea. I love that idea.
Yes. How about we sell Eze and promote his brother? Sorted. £50 million in our pocket, and we got another
number on the back. Might not even know the difference, right? The fans might not even know the difference.
Yeah, I mean, if they're as good as each other as well, then we just be. It's like copy and paste. I love it. I love it.
He scored a banger in America the other day, so the kid's got talent. So
Yes. Zaha leaving still hurts. It hurts, especially since he made speak to our lack of ambition because it feels like Zaha's level is above Galatasaray. Yeah, Zaha leaving, I honestly can't give any toss about anymore. So yeah, that's how I feel about the situation. Huh?
The man went from I love him to bits to that statement. I love him to bits. As you say every show, I love him to bits, but now all of a sudden I don't give a toss.
I just don't give a toss. He's left. He's gone. Like I just don't give a toss. It's done.
I hear you, man. Oh yeah, we did this too, didn't we? We had Rui Fontes, Jose Fonte's brother. Right? Remember, we do that a lot though. We do a lot of the brother things at Palace.
Now, Jonathan Benteke, I'm convinced there must be money laundering involved with Jonathan Benteke. We'll keep on it low. Allegedly, I'm joking before anyone takes it serious. Yeah, but Jonathan Benteke just came off for one game against Sunderland. I'll never forget that. And he just
got injured though. He got injured though.
So you're telling me Jonathan Benteke flopped at Palace because of his injury?
No, I'm saying he got injured in that game. I'm not saying that's the reason why he never played.
To be fair, that's still positive. I mean, Jonathan Benteke's brother actually played in the first team. We'll see if Eze's brother does that. I mean, that's
great.
In fact, that was crazy. Benteke's brother came off for Benteke, wasn't it?
That I don't remember. I don't remember that. Was it?
I think so. I thought
they came on. I mean, that would have made sense.
Yeah, I think Benteke
anybody in the chat was at the game. Let us know. I don't know. Don't remember.
Yeah, unless I'm just so tired, people. As you can see from probably my energy levels as well, I still need to pack that. Yeah, I'm hopefully I'm not hallucinating, but yeah, I'm pretty sure Benteke came off for Benteke, and then it was all done and over, dusted there. But look, the reason why I talked about Roy's comments and mentioned Vicente there is because we've been after a goalkeeper. So let's move on to the next bit of news, and that is regarding the goalkeeper that we want to bring in, which is ever so more interesting. And that is according to Spanish reports newspaper Marca, is that Getafe have rejected Crystal Palace's initial offer for goalkeeper David Soria as talks to try and take the goalkeeper to Selhurst Park continue. That's according to Marca, as I said, who say Crystal Palace's offer for the goalkeeper has been rejected for the moment. Now, when I saw that today, Patrick, that a bid for a goalkeeper has been rejected, David Soria has been on our radar for a few weeks. Funny enough, he's been on our radar ever since we've heard the talks about Vicente potentially wanting to leave. And it seemed like a bid being rejected. That's why I mentioned when Roy talked about 5 senior players, that's why I think Roy could potentially mention Vicente in that bracket, like by accident, or he didn't really think it through because Vicente if he's not going to play for Palace again, then he counts as losing a player, even though he hasn't officially left.
I got you. But the maths ain't mathing because you can come up with 5. You tried, but you couldn't do it. So
You can, but
no,
you can.
you tried a half an hour ago and you didn't do
Well,
it.
you could
So
mention,
do it
for
again.
example, Olise or
So do it now.
Mitchell plus
Give me 5.
Guaita.
Okay.
There's
3.
different combinations that you can do. Oh, Luka, MacArthur, Zaha, and if you're talking about players that's injured as well, it can be Olise that could be included in 5, or it could be
AD,
Lokonga if you see
can I help
Lokonga
you
as a
out?
senior player.
Can I help you out?
There's a lot of players that's left. Yeah.
When you're adding up numbers, right? When you're adding up, you can
Yeah.
do 5 plus 0 is 5. 4 plus 1
Yeah.
is 5, and 2 plus 3 is 5. You can't do any other combination. So you're trying to do what? 3 plus 1 is 5?
No, I'm trying to say that if there's more than 5 players that's left, so that 5 players could be a different combination. But
So
anyways, all right, okay. So why we linked to goalkeeper? Go on.
we've been linked with that goalkeeper for about 2 months. So I don't know why.
Yeah, exactly. Why?
Is this
Go
like?
on, say.
Is this a?
No,
this
go
a
and say.
question?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Why?
Why do you think we're linked, and why do you think our bids are getting rejected? Why do you think we're putting in a bid for a goalkeeper?
I don't have a clue.
You do. You just don't want to say Vicente.
What's the
that
clue?
you have a fear that you don't want to say it. So don't you think Vicente is wanting to leave?
Again, I don't know. I just said I saw him. I saw an Instagram story that he's training at the ground this morning. So I don't know what that means. I mean, I don't know.
So what was this about another goalkeeper?
He wants to leave.
Okay, so what is this? Well, okay, let's try and make a sense out of it. Why do we need another goalkeeper if you have Sam Johnson and Vicente there? I mean, who's going to be third choice out of them lot? Like, that's all goalkeepers that can play first team.
You tell me, because I literally have no idea.
And that's my point.
I think Vicente,
yeah, I think that's why we want to put this bid in. And I think that's why we're after a goalkeeper. Let us know in the chat as well what you guys think. But I think it's because of Vicente. Otherwise, it makes no sense. I mean, there's arguments between if David Soria is better than Sam Johnson as it is. So if we have Sam Johnson, him plus Vicente, that's 3 goalkeepers, and it doesn't make any sense financially or even logically to have that many good 3 goalkeepers, unless we're playing like European competitions, etc. But I don't think that's the case.
And the funny part is the goalie is the last position we need to worry about right now. Of all the
exactly, so that's my point. But the goalkeeper, you worry about that position if a goalkeeper leaves, though, Patrick. No.
Yeah.
Or is potentially going to
Johnson was injured. Yeah. So, but again,
so that's why I'm leaning towards. Forget about Roy's comments. Let's just talk about the goalkeeper in general. You don't bid for a goalkeeper unless literally you think one of your first team goalkeepers is going to leave, especially a goalkeeper in this level. He's not a young goalkeeper. He's 30 years old. He's experienced. Some people are saying he's better than, as I said, Sam Johnson or even Vicente Guaita. So surely one of these goalkeepers that we mentioned must be, wanting to leave for us to even put in a bid for another goalkeeper of that quality, right?
So for a fact it's a bid or just a paper talk. I mean,
Marca's a pretty big newspaper, and we've been linked with him for 2 months as well. Why would we be linked with him for 2 months? As you can see, the BS reports that's out there, they get mentioned once or twice, or the story runs for a week, then it's died down. With him, it's not dying down. With him, the stories we're hearing is that we're putting in bids, not that we're interested. We went from interested FC to bids getting rejected. So that's my whole point, Patrick. There must be something going on behind the scenes. If Vicente was to leave, would you be upset over that?
No, I mean, he's been great, and I like him a lot. But no, I wouldn't be upset. I mean, I got no problem with Johnson. I don't know anything about Soraya, so if he's any good. But no, I wouldn't be upset. I mean, again, goalkeeper position, we've been pretty solid for the last few years after who left, Hennessy. So I've got no issue with
we were down bad for like how many years? Like 6 or 7 years.
It wasn't great. Oh, we had we had
Jules, we had Jules, but then we had like McCarthy and then Wayne Hennessy. I mean, we had some dark times with goalkeepers. Mandanda, who came in, I really rated him highly, but then that just didn't work out. But then again, Patrick, if Vicente wanted to leave, why offer him another deal? 1-year contract. He doesn't have any value as well. It's interesting though.
That's why it was weird. Right. That's why we did it last year, right? So
remember we spoke about it, Patrick. We spoke about it like last week. We spoke about the reports were suggested that Royce or coaching staff spoke as Sam Johnson is going to be number 1, and apparently he's upset over that. And now this is why all these stories are happening as it is. So do you think that is the case now? Do you think with these stories about bids getting rejected, with Vicente not being as involved as much, yes, he's in training now, but where was he all this time? Like what's going on? Do you think there is something to these stories about Vicente, wanting to leave at least, or his head not being at Palace?
I'd like to hear from either the player, because he usually puts stuff on Instagram about
and he hasn't
being here.
Yeah.
I just told you I just told you he did though. He put a picture of him training today. So why is that? Isn't that a
So
sign that he wants to stay? Or that's not a sign?
I wouldn't say that's a sign of him wanting to
Okay.
stay. Players train regardless. I mean, players that want to leave that will still train. So like Wilf
I
was
had not
Wilf was our training ground when he wasn't
no,
even out of contract with us.
right. But I'm saying I haven't seen again. You say I haven't seen him post anything about Palace in like a week and a half, and then he posted that today. So
And that's my
again,
point.
right.
Normally he would die down the reports. Like you'll see if there's any reports like that. Oh, he say I'm happy at Palace, and he'll put a 50 ego emojis, and he'll be happy. But he hasn't done any of this crazy stuff, and we'll see. Maybe it's a case of now he needs to train with the team because the team is back from America. But yeah, I guess sooner rather than later we'll find out. But look, if he was to leave, I wish him all the best. I said it
100%.
before that we need to. I'm in a way. I'm. This will sound bad, but I'm happy how things have happened in terms of we saw Sam Johnston before the chance of Vicente leaving. Vicente, wasn't always number one. With them injuries, in a way, it's allowed Sam Johnston to have his spot. And as a club, now we feel a bit more comfortable. Let's say Vicente was playing all of last season, didn't have any injuries, and now we're in this position. That would be way more difficult because now we wouldn't know how good Sam Johnston is. So, look, Sam Johnston is a solid number one. He can be a solid number one. So, if Vicente was to leave, I don't think it'll be the end of the world, in my opinion, regarding that situation.
I agree.
But the only confusing thing is new contract that we gave him. But look, we'll go through some comments and we'll wrap it up, people, because it has been a long day for me and probably for Patrick as well. But Patrick's looking younger than ever, so I don't think it's been a long day for him. I'm watching from the start, and I've already hit the like button. Appreciate that, Stapes. If you haven't done so, people, if you can hit the like button and subscribe. I think did I say subscribe? I don't know. I'm tired. Subscribe if you're new here. Yeah, exactly. Yep. If you're new here as well, want to see more Palace content. Adam says, I'm hoping Vicente stays as we can't afford to spend more money that we could be putting towards a striker.
I agree.
Jason said, Leon, we can only trade dark head Guaita because white head Guaita has superpower.
Very funny. I don't know what it means. It's funny to me.
Yeah. No, honestly, Patrick, what about Hennessy? Would you be upset with Hennessy coming back to your club?
Oh my God. Don't. Move on. Next.
No, seriously.
Next. That's not even
Because he was a fan of Hennessy.
Imagine my life, right, with Hennessy and Golden and Hodgson as the manager and no signings. That would bring a man to suicide. Seriously. Don't do that. Don't do it.
You don't rate Wayne Hennessy? You want to take him on?
Do you? Anyone in the chat rate? Anybody in the chat rate Hennessy? Just put a.
I didn't say I did. I just asked a question.
Put a thumbs up in the chat if you rate Wayne Hennessy.
I'm expecting lots of thumbs up now. I think it's only you, Patrick. That don't rate Wayne Hennessy.
Do me a favor. I've got to run, so let's not spend the next couple of minutes talking about Wayne Hennessy. It's not worth my time or your time. But let's be honest. Come on.
I can't believe a player triggered you so bad, Wayne Hennessy, all them times. Like, I don't know why.
He doesn't trigger you. He doesn't trigger you.
It didn't trigger me as much as you, because I remember back in the day. I know people are new to this channel, people are new to Back of the Nest, but when we was doing like the podcast and stuff, Wayne Hennessy would just you had an agenda towards him, a personal agenda.
100%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at least you can admit it, but it was a bit harsh. He was not a good goalkeeper, but even when he had good games, people would just say, "Oh, look who we face," and there was some crazy excuses out there. So crazy.
But Roger gets it. Hennessy was blank, 100%. He was exactly that. That emoji.
Terrible, yeah. But the fact that
Jason Babin, look, another one. Oh, look, Luke Cooper, another one.
Yeah.
Oh, and look at this. So in the chat, it seems like most people agree with me, but that's okay. I had an agenda against him, but people in the chat also.
No, you literally admit. I didn't say you had it. Well, you admit that you had an agenda.
I did not like him even a little bit. So if that's an agenda, then that's fair.
Yeah.
Maybe my most disliked Crystal Palace player in history, and I've been playing Palace for a very long time.
That is wild.
It's not wild because I usually like every Palace player. And even if you're not any good, I try and hope you do well.
The fact that you're saying that when we have someone called Zaha is great. I'm joking.
Oh my days! Wow.
I'm joking.
Wow.
I'm joking. That went left. That went left. No. Wilf is a legend at the club. He's the legend at the club. It is what it is. He'll be loved over in Turkey, and I think he'll just
by the way. McCarthy,
Alex
better than
McCarthy,
Hennessy.
yeah. Look, let's stop talking about goalkeepers. I actually have to go. And
me too.
Yeah,
So
we covered everything. We covered everything today. But as always, people, thanks to every single one of you that's tuning in live. Thank you to every single one of you. As always, if you have enjoyed it, like, subscribe, comment. And until next time, up the Palace. Keep safe, people. I'm going on holiday.
Enjoy. Hey, bruv.
Yeah.
Be safe. Enjoy. We're going to miss you. We'll see you soon. But most importantly, have a good time.
So I'll keep an eye out. Whilst I'm 35 degrees heat, I'll watch videos and all
I'm
that.
planning a coup. When you come back, this channel gonna be totally different. So just be ready for it. Me and AJ and T are taking over. You come back and you're not gonna recognize anything. Trust me.
Yeah.
Taking over.
So I'll be back. I'll be back. Maybe I might jump on once or twice. Potentially. Yeah. More let me. Yeah, it's gonna be a cute internal cute. But yeah, I might be able to. Yeah, I might be able to jump on maybe once or twice. But I'll be honest, people.
Do that.
Holiday.
Do that for me. Say hi to Will for us. Right, please do.
Boy, I ain't saying no hi to anyone.
I ain't saying
hi to anyone. You know why? Should I bring out the t-shirt? Should I open the wardrobe? Should I let people discover the wardrobe?
No.
Before I leave. Okay.
No.
But there's a t-shirt and there's a reason why I won't say hi to Will, because he's on the opposite side. Good luck to him. Or not good luck to him, because he plays for a team that I don't like. But look, yeah, I'll be back on the day that we face Sheffield United. So hopefully by then we'll sign some players. And if we do, I'll probably jump on there. But look, Patrick and T and AJ and Stan up, I'm pretty sure they'll take well care. We'll try to still organize these Palace news. But yeah, if you haven't watched the vlog, make sure to check out Patrick's vlog. That's it from me. I need to go to the airport. I need to have some sun. But until next time, up the Palace, people. Keep safe.
Safe travels, bro.